Hey yo, what it do? It's your boy Goji, and today we're going to be discussing a big boy topic. So if you do not like the following content shown on screen right now, you might want to skip this week. Or to give a quick preview of what we're going over today. Today I'm going to be talking about the differences between porn and art. This topic has been hotly debated ever since the invention of art. Well, maybe not. Caveman probably didn't care. This is a very controversial topic. Many people have gotten into fights over this, and I just want to let you know that this is just how I feel about it. I will not push my beliefs onto you, and I will not be trying to convert you over to my ways. But I will just be talking about what I think the difference between porn and art is. I will not be discussing current events right now. I will maybe later on if I feel like it. But just know that what I'm talking about today isn't exactly pertaining to this, but it's more of an excuse to get into the topic that I've been wanting to talk about, but never really had any reason to talk about it. So, anyway, I'm gonna... Bam, okay. Let me organize here. I don't need this. So, once again, before I open up my sketchbook to the right page, I would like to tap the sign real quick. This will be a sensitive topic for some people. If you are one of those people that are sensitive to this sort of stuff, I get it. Don't worry about it. Listen, I know my audience isn't really big enough to cause a huge stir, but, you know, just in case someone comes in on our little bubble of this internet, let's all be big boys here. On this page, we have two images, right? On the left, representing art, is a picture of the statue of David made by Michelangelo. And on the right, representing porn, we have my approximate sketch of the statue of David with one key feature emboldened, and we will be calling this the dick vid. And this is where I would like to make my first distinction between terms. First thing I would like to distinct is between the words penis/phallus and dick. Penis/phallus is just a part of the human body. The penis, or the phallus, I'm referring to the part of the body, the male reproductive organ. That includes the shaft and the testicles. When I say the dick, I'm referring to the thing used to... Anyway, it's classic practice for every artist to stare at nude bodies just to understand the anatomy of the human. See, when I see the David, all I see are the shapes and the human figure. How most artists see the human form. We see shapes and representations. We see, we see forms. As an artist, you are supposed to just appreciate the human body for what it is, and because art is imitation of life, or interpretation of life, so basically all that an artist sees is a human body. That's all it is to us. That's why we draw so many naked people, and that's why we don't really care when we see this. If anything, we are more or less enjoying, appreciating the craftsmanship of the art piece, and the penis, the phallus, the breasts, they are just part of this form that we are appreciating, and just representing the human body and representing the form that the human body takes in the most natural form, naked. Whereas in porn, realize where the focus is on this image. I made it quite obvious because you see how everything else is kind of sketched out. This is what you're meant to be focusing on, while this is meant to make your brain go woo. And so I'm going to try to explain this in very simple terms, and I hope that you can understand when I say that there is a difference in intent when it comes to these. So art merely represents while porn idealizes. Notice how in art the penis is very understated. It is simply there, right? Whereas in porn, look how big this dick is. Look how big, muscular, veiny, girthy. Look how potent the balls are. Okay? And if I was to simplify this into... If I were to be poetic about this, art is the is, and porn is the want. This phallus right here simply is. It is on the human body. It is part of the human body. Whereas in porn, you are more enticed to want the dick. So then I started to explain it in a really weird way, but I'm going to explain it in an even weirder way because I think it works better. So imagine a corpse, right? It used to be a living, breathing creature with thoughts and emotions. It still looks like one, so it still makes you think of those living, breathing, emotion-having creature that's now on the ground as a pile of flesh, right? So that's what art is. Art is that it makes you think of, but then porn is kind of like looking at that corpse and just thinking of the meat. Okay, so imagine you just slaughtered a cow. Art is like killing this cow and then extrapolating emotion from it, saying, man, I really killed this cow just so I could eat. I'm so grateful that he let me take his meat, and I will use every last bit of him as honor, to honor his sacrifice. But then porn is like, yeah, that's that prime rib. I can't wait to gnaw on that after marinating it for several days. Oh yeah, baby, give me that. When something is sexualized, when something is perverted, when something is, made sexual, is intent. It's about intent. Context, right? Michelangelo, he wasn't like the cleanest cut guy. He was an amazing artist. This was actually going to be on top of a church. I don't remember why they took it off. I should have done more research. But this was actually supposed to be hanging on the church. And David, King David from the Bible, this was supposed to represent him. See, now, there is something to be said about the penis on the statues, the size. Because you see, back in those days, the size of the penis said a lot about your personality. This is done on purpose because back in those days, a small penis meant you were modest, you were more, you were good. There is a reason for the penis to be there. Whereas, yeah. So that's the context. Now say if I just drew fucking titties. Alright, so you might have to forgive me because I have no experience drawing breasts or titties. And this is what I kind of wanted to avoid doing because I know that I'm not really good enough at art to really show the imbalance, but the huge difference between a breast just simply being there than for a character to be holding her huge fucking honkers and saying, look at him, Now, of course, it's a lot more subtle with this example, right? But just look at where the intention is. That's it. That's really all that I was trying to explain today, but because this discussion's been going on for so long and, you might not really understand the nuances of it, I wanted to try and say it in the clearest way that I could. But I'm probably I'm not saying anything new, it's just, that's how I felt about it. For the controversial part of this episode. So in lieu of current events, my personal opinion is that